How do? Sorry about that. Just a few last minute technical gremlins that needed to be expunged, shall we say. I hope you're all okay and enjoying your cooler Sunday evening. It's certainly much cooler up here in the vault, or down here in the vault if you want to keep up the pretense. So yeah, although that said, I have noted probably about half an hour ago it feeling a little bit milder. So I've opened my window ever so slightly more, and we'll see how we get on. There we go. Right, okay, so I suppose we better get down to business really, haven't we? This is the... I didn't want to make it... Well, I wasn't sure about making it an ongoing series, but what the hell, it's going to be. So this is the first on the Spectrum with Ed. I did a preview stream 2 weeks ago now, was it? It wasn't Thursday just gone, it was Thursday before, wasn't it? Yeah. To try and give you a flavour of what's going to be coming. The aesthetic of it all has slightly changed since that preview, but we'll get to that in a moment. You'll see that. So before we crack on, I will just have a brief check through the chat, and then we'll get straight into it. So let's see who we've got. We've got Ben. Hello, Ben. Thanks for joining. We have Martin saying hello to Ben, and thank you, Martin, for joining. Ben is asking how everyone is this meaning? I'm not that French police officer from a law, am I? Good morning. And Martin's telling me it's all good. So yes, Nixy, the Glade Sprite, file not found. Sorry, try again later. Nixy, the Glade Sprite file is very much found and will be played later on, I assure you. We have Martin saying hello. We have Benjamin. Martin's enjoying the cooler. We have Gareth. We have a hello for Gareth, and we have a goodbye, Gareth. What's he doing? Moving out with family, so can't watch, I'm afraid. I don't see any issue with that. That's fine. Enjoy whatever it is you're going to be watching. Martin says enjoy, so does Ben. Oh, we've got a Dave. Or should I call him Rodney? We've got more hellos. Yes, we've got a someone. Yes. Gareth Incognito. Maybe he is, maybe he's still watching in the background somewhere. Who knows? Ben's good. Martin's good. There we go. I'm alright. I'm just tired. I'm just really, really tired. I've been really busy over the past few weeks, and not getting much sleep with the warm weather, but it's not just me. I'm sure there's lots of other people out there that's been suffering the same. So, I can't really complain. The only thing I can complain is this eye hurts. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's just a little bit swollen there. So I think I've got a bit of a sty coming on. It's so it's a bit. So if you see me going like this while I'm playing, you know why. That is why. And I'm probably not doing myself any favours by being under this LED lighting, focusing on the screen playing games. But we suffer for our art. Well, not that we can call it art. I've got Lucas. Good evening, Lucas. Thank you for joining, young man. I do sincerely appreciate that. Right, okay then. For the uninitiated, for those that may have just joined, this is Vaults of Iacon Presents on the Spectrum with Ed. I'm Ed. This is the Vaults of Iacon. Those are Spectrums. I'm not literally on those. I'm going to be playing Spectrum games via the Fuse emulator. So yeah, let's make a start, shall we? And there we go. That was the little intro that you've got, just to bring us to where we are now. So this is how the layout's going to look going forward. We're going to have we're going to have kind of a retro looking TV there that the Spectrum games will appear on while I'm playing. Down here you will have the information about the game that I will be playing. First game I'll be playing is going to be Painter by AnF Software. It just gives you the title there, the release year, who published it, and give you the original price on release. Also, what I will do is, excuse me, there will be, where did I put my drink? There will be, I will show a short VT before each game, just giving you a little bit more information about that game. I don't have the monitor on. One of the issues that I was having before I started was I just for some reason couldn't get my headphones to pair with my computer, which very odd because they've been pairing perfectly fine up until now, but typical. So I can't hear, so if I'm talking and I repeat some of the information that's in the short VT, you'll just have to excuse me. And with that, I am going to show you the first VT, and this will give you some information about the game Painter.
Step back into 1983 with Painter, an addictive top-down action gem published by AnF Software and written by Doug Anderson for the 16K ZX Spectrum. Your mission is simple: paint every square of the grid-like board while dodging deadly, fast-moving monsters. It demands quick reflexes and precise control. With its vibrant colour clash visuals, iconic paintbrush sound effects, and frantic pacing, Painter remains a pure slice of early British home computing history.
And there we go. That was Painter. I hope that gave you some of the information that you would require before I jump in and begin playing. And I'm going to load it up now. So let's crack on, shall we? There we go. So we've got stop the tape. We've got a nice little animated screen there. So we've got ZX Incorporated Painter, authors ASB, and that's AnF Software. And we've got like a bit of a spray can there, spraying different colours. And we've got a little spray sound effect. If I remember from memory, when I did that little voiceover for the VT intro that we did there for the game, I mistakenly said about making paintbrush noises. It's what, 43 years old. You know, give me a break. I will forget these things. Okay, so we're going to jump first into this first game, and then what I'll do is I'll break for catch up with the chat, and then we'll go into the second game. You'll have to excuse me with this being the first one. There's going to be a bit of exposition, me going over how the format is going to play. Don't worry, when I come to do the Cassette 2 in another couple of weeks, all this exposition will be gone and it'll just be straight into it. So right, let's give Painter a go, shall we? If I recollect rightly, I think it's QAOP, I think, for this. Is it? Yeah, QAOP, yep, that is correct. Right, okay. Let's make a start, shall we? So the object of the game, yes, you've got to just paint around these paint buckets while avoiding the paint roller there. This is a massive nostalgia trip for me because even though I do still play on the Spectrum, even though I do still play on the Spectrum, this is a game I have not played for a hell of a long time. But like I said, the nostalgia is kicking in already. I first played this game. There was a lad that lived on my street called Stephen who had this. I did get this game a bit later via a copy from him. I borrowed it off him and copied it. But when this game first came out, my first time playing it was on his Spectrum. Oh. not very responsive on the keys and the movements, is this. I do also like we've got that little bit of an intro music there. 1983 was still... I'm just trying to think. I think this was early 83. This was definitely before Manic Miner, and Manic Miner we know is the first game that was released with in-game music. So essentially, you know, music while you played. This has just got sound effects with yeah. Sneaky. And as we go on higher levels, just the amount of paint rollers you have to avoid increases, and they also do get a little bit quicker. So you've just got to base... Come on. Come on. Sneaky. Oh, walk straight into him then. And I think that... Oh, right, we've got one more life left. Oh. Not that it lasted very long. And there we go. That's game over. So my score on that first run was 1,363. And I get to put my name in. Or I would do if... Oh, yes, there we go. Just 3 letters. Just enough for Ed. And that was Painter. That'll be sweet. I'm going to have another crack at it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat because I have a set of pre-ready pokes to put in this game. So if I can remember how we do this... You can't see me doing this on screen, but I assure you that I am doing it. So we put our poke value in. We evaluate it. And then we close. Now that should mean that so I'm going to intentionally get myself... There we go. And that's how it works. It basically, on Painter, it gets rid of the collision detection. So you can basically just... paint at your will without fear of getting... beaten. I know this is cheating. I am fully aware of that, and it's not usually something that I do, use the pokes, but for these purposes, shall we say, just so you get more of an idea how the game progresses and you can see further into the game. Especially when it's games like this that I've not played for a long time and will be understandably rusty, very rusty. So rusty, in fact, that I think the painter here is actually applying a very liberal coat of hammerite. I mean, back in the day, I'm not even sure how far I did get on this game. It probably wasn't very far. But it'd be interesting to see just how many roller brushes are on the screen at one point. So we've now got 3. There's something very soothing as well about this game. You know, just sort of like, you know, completing the squares. And there was another game that came out a couple of years after this by Quicksilver called Tracks. And that one I did have on an original copy, and I did play that one quite a lot. It's a very, very similar idea to Painter, just that instead of going around buckets of paint, you're actually on a grid, and what you have to do is you have to highlight all of the grids. Now, the major difference is as well that you have like the snap back, so you can only stretch your light beam. I think it's light beams they call it in game. You can only stretch your light beam so long and then it snaps. So when you're drawing round the grid, you have to keep that in mind, because if you stray too far, then it's not going to highlight that particular part of the grid. So we've now got, how many have we got? Is it 4 we've got? Was it 4 last time, or was it 3? I'm sure the OCD amongst you are loving the way that I'm colouring these paint buckets in. The things I do for you. So just to mess with you, I'm now going to just do... I'm just going willy-nilly. I don't care anymore. I'm all over the place. So it looks like we max out at 4 roller brushes. Although they do look like they are now... Yeah, I think they're now then. They are getting a little bit faster. You see, the thing is as well, I do have to point out, while yes, I am using a poke to give me infinite lives. Well, it's not infinite lives, I've deactivated the collision detection. Which was a very novel thing for gaming way back when in the 70s and 80s, because it was usually a case if you got 3 lives and that were it, you were done. You had to start again. That's what made the games good and made it so you kept coming back to try and see how far you could get and beat your scores and things. Whereas now that I've got the collision detection deactivated and I'm just able to go about as I wish and do the game without fear of consequence, it's pretty much like modern gaming, because most modern games now don't have that. You have restore points, you have effectively infinite lives because you just respawn. So once, you know, I honestly can't remember the last time I played a modern game and it was actually game over. You know, you actually got a game over. It was literally just a case of like respawn, pick up where you left off. So, you know, there we go. It's no justification, I know, I'm using a poke, but there we go. Also as well, back in the day, it was quite difficult to use pokes. There was a few ways to do this. One of them was a short program, a bit of basic that you'd type in before you started loading the game. Or you'd begin loading the game, and you'd stop the cassette at a particular point, break into the code, put a little line of code, and then start loading it again. Or with some games, you would, once they had loaded, you could type in a number. So on Manic Miner, there's a number. I think it's a 5. Is it 645? I think it's a 6-digit number, a 5 or 6-digit number on Manic Miner. So you type that in, and I'm not sure. I don't think it gives you infinite lives. I'm just trying to remember. I think what it does is it lets you level warp, so you can like fast forward through levels without having to do them. And then games like Exelon, I'll use for example, which you've seen me play back when the streams were called Syntax Era. There was a particular series of letters you put in. So when you were redefining the keys, there was a certain sequence of keys that you would put in there, and that would then grant you infinite lives. Right, okay then. Well, I think we've determined that Painter maxes out at 4 roller brushes, but they just become faster. So I'm going to drop Painter there, and we're going to move on to, well, I'm going to check the chat first, and then we're going to move on to our next game, which is Scuba Dive. So if I just reset my machine, there we go, and let's have a look at the chat, shall we? Let's pick up where we were. Right, so we've got people just saying hello to Lucas. 5 point. What kind of accent is that? £5.75. Yes, £5.75 in 1983. That's probably going to be about what? What would that be in today's money? Would it be about £20, something like that? I think. Who knows? It would be a lot. I also thought £5.75 looked expensive for 1983. It does, but when you look, that was kind of the average price of the games, roughly around about anywhere between £5 and £6. It wasn't really until your publishers like Mastertronic, Codemasters, and Firebird, when they came along, that's when you saw the cheaper games, so like the $1.99 games or the $2.99 games. But yeah, prior to that, £5.75 was pretty much your average. Ultimate Play the Game, so games like Saberwolf, Nightlaw, Alienate, they were even more. They were like almost £10 per game. You know, they were really expensive. Not the earlier stuff. The earlier stuff like Transarm and Cookie and Psst and Jetpack, they were round about the £5.75 mark. But no, once they started doing the sort of larger boxed games, and especially the isometric style ones, that's when you saw then the leap in price. But I don't ever recall during the time anyone complaining, because Ultimate Play the games were just so good that people didn't mind paying that little bit extra. So a game about watching paint dry. Indeed, it has to be British. Yeah, AnF Software was a British publishing house. AnF Software also brought us the fantastically playable, addictive, and much loved Chucky Egg and Chucky Egg 2, which I'm sure at some point on this journey I will get round to playing for you. God, I remember those jaggedy lines from my BBC. And so you have finite paint. Yes, you do. Yes, your paint, that is the value on the bottom right of the screen. That does go down. If you want to score highly. What's this one? I am suddenly reminded of all those cheat dongles you used to be able to get to physically improve your abilities in these early games. No patching to defeat them in those days. Dongles. Would we have had dongles back in 1983? I don't know, unless dongles is a term for something, like your own personal term for something. Like I said, the only thing available to the Spectrum back in fact, I don't even think it came out in 83. When did it come out? Did it come out in 84? Was the multi-face. And it was literally a an interface that plugged into the back of the Spectrum, and it had a big red button on the top, and you pressed that. You'd load your game, you'd press that, and then there'd be a little program in that multiface that would break into the game. You could then enter your poke, press the red button again, and then that was it. You was able to play it with said poke. But like I said, the BBC Micro may have operated differently. Relentless Rollers. Max 3 letters, handy for you. It is indeed, yes. Cheat. I know, I was cheating, but I was cheating for you, not for me. Sweet irony. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's true. Yep, yeah. Maybe they are getting faster. They don't seem to try and chase you. No, they don't. I noticed that. I think it's just basically, I think within the game itself, I think it's just a case of that they are randomly programmed just to wander down the around the screen. Screen. I think it's randomised to give you half a chance. Yeah. What I just said, what Andy's just reiterated. Everyone look innocent. He's checking us. I am innocent, Andy. No, 83 might have been too early. I'm thinking Amiga time, I think. Yeah, I think I recall things that you could plug into the Amiga. It wouldn't have been USB. I don't know what it would have been, but I do remember seeing kind of... Well, for the Atari ST anyway, I think it was like a white block or something that you could plug into them. Right, okay, that's the chat caught up with. Right then, so my next game I'm going to be playing is Scuba Dive. Now, Scuba Dive is from Durell Software, released in 83, and that was £5.50, so 25 pence cheaper than Painter. Let's take a look at what we've got to say about Scuba Dive.
Dive deep into 1983 with Scuba Dive, a groundbreaking underwater adventure developed by Mike Richardson and published by Durell Software Limited. Guiding your diver, your mission is to plunge to the ocean floor, harvest pearls from open clams, and race back to your moving boat before your oxygen runs out. Earning the legendary Crash Smash Award, the game blew gamers away with its fluidly animated marine life, giant octopuses, and terrifyingly realistic great white sharks.
And that was Scuba Dive. So yes, well, yeah, I don't know what I said. I'm sure it was very interesting, whatever I said there. But this was a game I did have an original for way back when, and I would enjoy playing this one. The controls, I may have mentioned this in the VT, I can't remember, but the controls are quite interesting on this because you don't have a strict up, down, left, right. You turn through 360 degrees, and then you just point your diver in that direction and off you head. Right, let's get it loaded up. No waiting 3.5 minutes for this to load up. What are the keys for this now? I should have wrote this down, shouldn't I? Ah, right, so space bar. I've just killed myself. Okay. That's it. There we go. So the object of the game is to collect pearls and then take them back to your boat. So we've got ZX to rotate through your 360 degrees. Oh, shark. And then we've got space to speed your diver up. And then it would have been... What would it have been? Symbol shift or Z to slow your diver down. But on this, I'm using the space and alt key. Oh, I just banged my head. Right, okay. Now, with this game, you have to watch your oxygen. Oh, bang my head again. You've also to watch the collision detection as well. There we go. Just over here while it... Go on, open up. Oh, must have already... There we go. It's a very calm and sedate game. It's not a frantic shoot 'em up or blasting kind of game. Oh, come on. There we go. And again, it's another game that I've not played for a long time. Right, are we going into the depths? Oh yes, the octopus. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden. Just lost my monetization there. Oh, what am I trying to have? I'm not monetized. What am I talking about? Yeah, I'm kind of... There's a lot of sharks. And I've just banged my head on that clam. Oh, I've just been killed by a school of tuna. And what was that? Oh, it was a jellyfish. And I think I might have just lost all my pearls that I collected. I do like the animation on the sharks. The way that they turn. Right, I'm going to head down back past the octopus. Oh, it doesn't look like... Perhaps it dropped me off somewhere different. Come on, open up. It'll open up now somewhere. Ah, no it won't. Right, yes, I remember now. I think once you've collected the pearl from them, they don't open up. They stay shut, and I think that's how the game lets you know that you've already got one from them. Right, so if I keep going this way, then I will get to the octopus. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now. Got off. The collision detection. There we go. Right, there we go. I've yeah, that was impressive. Most impressive. And I mean, to think that back in '83, I would have played probably a good hour or so on this game. But, and enjoyed it as well. But that was the thing, I suppose. You know, you spend all that time loading it. What the? I didn't bang my head then. Maybe he just didn't like... Oh, no, I don't mind. Alright, see if we can time this. Oh! So if you take notice of the boat, every time you lose a life and you start again, the number of people on the boat goes down. So, does that mean that you're not the same scuba diver each time? So the first scuba diver that I was controlling that came down into the depths and was killed, is he actually dead for good in the game? And this is now another diver that's about to be killed by an octopus. Oh. Right. We're stopping there. This could be like one of those existential questions. You know, is this the same scuba diver or is it a different scuba diver? Much like, this was another one I was thinking about the other day. I do think of some really random stuff sometimes, but I was just sat there considering transporter technology in Star Trek. And there you go, headbutt a clam. And then get yourself killed by a clam. When you go through a transporter, the person who appears at the other end isn't you. It isn't the person that was originally transported. The person that was originally transported is dead. So it's a copy. So every time that someone went through a transporter, it was a copy of the previous copy. And so on. Something to think about. If you're bored. Or if you're playing a game where you watch the paint dry. No, and I thought it would have been really clever then by picking up that clam. Well, not... Oh, really? Oh, it didn't even give me a chance there. Right, I'm going to go back up because I want to see how we... Oh, I haven't got any other. There we go. So when you get X amount of pearls, you can then take them back to the boat and drop them off, and then come back and get some more. I mean, I know it's 83, and it probably would have just added a little bit something extra to the game. If it, oh, that was interesting. We're dead again. Something a little extra to the game, you know, like some music or something. But it was too early for that. It's too early. Right, I'm going to have one more crack, and then I'm going to move on because the next game, the third game that I'm going to be playing, the Nixy game, that's the one really that's going to be the game that is going to have the most playability to it, that, you know, that we can really get into. Oh, I was killed by a tube. Was it a tube crisp? I wonder if you can still get tube crisps. I don't think you can. I think they were discontinued many moons ago. No, didn't have a chance there. Right. So I'll give it a try with the boat thing here. So I've got a pearl. Where's my boat? Ah, there it is. Yep. So right, yeah. So it now goes from. I'm going to point at the screen, but you can't see me pointing at the screen, can you? So when you've collected the pearls, they're in that held section. you can then go to the boat and then put them on the boat, and that adds them to your score. And yeah, so if you bang your head or you get killed, then all the pearls that you had held, so to speak, you lose. Oh, really? And that's it. That's Scuba Dive. I think we'll leave it. I mean, I do have a poke for Scuba Dive here, but I think it's time to move on, really. I'm not going to bother with that poke. It was an Infinite Lives poke anyway, was that one. Maybe I should have, rather than the Infinite Lives one, maybe I should have gone for the non-collision one like what I did with Painter. But, you know, not to worry. Right, okay, I'm going to reset the machine because I need to put it into 128K mode for Nixy. There we go. But first, let us go to the chat and see what's been going on there. Right. Oh, it was called Action Replay or something. God, the brain's weird, this thing. Oh, the, right, yeah, the dongly thing in the back of the Amiga. Yeah, okay. Would Pac-Man have had been the first game with intelligent enemies that chased you? Probably. Well, I mean, Pac-Man certainly did come before Painter. So perhaps it was. Maybe it was. I mean, it did. Pac-Man was an early game for the machine. Unless maybe something like Galaxians, because they would have the enemies dropping down like Space Invaders, but then they peel off and then... So I don't know. Maybe that's something to look into. Martin never played Scuba Dive. Interesting question. Many games did just have auto-repeating routes in those days, I think. Yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah. Ghosts were kind of locked into their path, so I don't know about if they pursued you with much difficulty. Jaws? Yes. Da-da. Martin can hear the music. So if you monitor your held score, you can tell if you're getting anything. Yes. So, yeah. So when you pick up a pearl, not a penguin, a pearl, you pick up a pearl, it goes into your held score, and then you have to take it to your boat, drop them off at the boat, and then that translates to your actual score. It's funny how I'm buying his swimming in a stick form. Clever animation. Yes, that's one of the things that I do like about the early Spectrum games, because it was a new thing, programming for a new machine, and we're talking early 80s, so home games weren't really that much of a thing. I mean, yes, we had the Atari VCS, but from a home micro UK based system, it was pioneering, and it was still early days, and some of the things that we're able to do for those games were quite clever. They had to be clever. They had to think on the hoof, and so yeah, it was very good. Yeah. Dave likes Scuba Dive. Martin thinks it's very calming. Moral of the story, kids: return your treasure frequently. Indeed, yes. Dave, seriously. What's the difference between a piano and a tuner? I think you lose them every time you bang your head. Yes, you do, Lucas. This is true. Go on. You can't tune a piano. Yeah, I think my recollection is the joke is, what's the difference between a fish and a fork? You can tune a fish, but you can't tune a fork. I think that was it. I said that quietly because I just suddenly realised I wasn't 100% sure about the joke. Yeah, fish and a fork. You can tune a fish, but you can't tune a fork. Or you tune a fork, but you can't tune a fish. That's it. You can tune a fork because it's a tuning fork, ding. Anyway, you get the idea. You can tune a piano, but not tune a tuner. Use the foresaid. That's it. Or you can have a tuna sandwich, but you can't have a piano sandwich. Oh, they're all flowy now, aren't you? Here's a musical instrument. The other's a fish. Can tuners play the piano? Spitting facts. I'm guessing you have to get the pearls back to the boat to bank them. Yes, Lucas, this is true. It seems so about the pearls, because if you die, they're lost. They are indeed. Riker knows. So yeah, the transport thing, yep. What if a scuba diver falls over in the forest and there is no one else around? Yeah, it's kind of like if a man is all alone in the forest and has an opinion, is he still wrong? I've not told that right, have I? Oh, yes, that's it. Yes, if a man is alone in the forest without his wife and he has an opinion, is he still wrong? Or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Collision detection was ruthless in those days. It was indeed, Andy. It was. Isn't it like if a tree falls over in the forest and does it make a noise? Yes, that is true. Yes, if a tree... Yeah. It's one of those existential... Yes, one of those questions. It's like, what's the sound of one hand clapping? Or, we know the speed of light. What's the speed of dark? What was Scuba Diver doing in a forest? Who knows? Maybe he got caught up in some kind of updraft tornado thing and it picked him up and deposited him on land somewhere. Probably lost. He was looking for his car. Oh, you see, all the jokes are just coming now. He was going for a drive in the sea. Yes, being silly. An Austin Marina. Oh, Martin. Ed may regret going to the chat. You're damn right Ed regrets going to the chat. Right, the earliest recognised computer and video games featuring artificial intelligence routines designed to keep actively track and pursue the player include the early 1970s mainframe and mini-computer chase games. Cheers, Lucas, for that. Appreciate that info. Like Chase, developed on the Dartmouth time-sharing system around 1971-72, and Maze War, developed in 73 at NASA Ames, which featured computer-controlled robot opponents that hunted down humans. Excellent. That is nice information dump. We like that. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Really? What, we're back to the jokes? Pac-Man 1980, while not the absolute first, Namco's arcade classic popularised complex distinct behavioural tracking. Each of the four ghosts used individual pathfinding logic. Brilliant. I love this stuff. I love this. I was reading that out and it wasn't on screen. Sorry, Lucas. With Blinky directly chasing the player, Pinky trying to cut them off, Inky using flanking vectors, and Clyde alternating between pursuit and retreat. Love it. Love it. That's got my geeky juices flowing as that. Thank you, Lucas. Right, okay, on to the third and final game, which is Nixy, the Glade Sprite. Okay, this is a homebrew game, and it was released in 2018 by Bubblesoft, and this was £5. When you see this game and it's only £5, you'll be like, my God, that is a bargain, an absolute bargain. Considering, I mean, I reckon I had no idea if our ghost did different things. There we go. Just finally catch up with the chat. Yeah, I wonder how much this game would have been back in 83. Well, it would have been impossible because they just wouldn't have been able to program this game for the 16 and 48k spectrum because it is a 1 to 8k game. So there we go. Right, let's give you a little bit of information about it, shall we?
Fast forward to 2018 for Nixy, the Glade Sprite, a gorgeous modern homebrew adventure published by Bubblesoft Games. Guiding Nixy, you must retrieve the corrupted Gaia Stone and cleanse the artifact in the sacred moon pool. Built using Jonathan Caldwell's arcade game designer, the game features incredibly vibrant ULA Plus enhanced colour palettes, brilliant fluid jumping animations, and a rich atmospheric 1 to 8k AAY chiptune soundtrack.
And that was Nixy. That was your little intro to that lovely little sprite. Yeah, these kind of games are my jam, basically, because they are very much reminiscent of Manic Miner, and as you know, as I've told you time and time before, Manic Miner is my most favourite game ever. I still think it's one of the best games ever made. Is it the best? I think it is. but that's just my own personal opinion. I think it is the best game ever made. I just love it. You know, and on my epitaph, I would probably say, it would say Player of Manic Miner, because I do look, and look, and I've even got a shirt that says Manic Miner as well. So yeah, lovely game. Right, we're going to get Nixy loaded up. And there she is. Look at her, the harlot with her bosoms out. Ooh, the sprightly tart, isn't she? Okay. Okay. I'll just let you listen to that music for a moment. That's the AY chip that was in the 128K Spectrum that they programmed that nice music for it. And as well, you're playing as a female character, which was quite rare actually on the Spectrum. Most of the games and characters that you played on the Spectrum were usually male characters. Not that it matters, the game characters, doesn't matter. Right, let me just see where I am now on this. That's the one. Yes, that's where we are. Right, okay, let's get into it, shall we then? What I love about this is we can change our keys. We all love, well I do, I love redefinable keys. Now, I'm going to do this like what I did with Painter. I'm going to give it a play with just as normal, and then I'm going to bang the infinite lives in, so then I can get a bit further into the game and show you more of this beautifully sort of like animated game. It looks gorgeous, and the sound is really nice as well. Oh no, I just had a thought then that if it's anything like Manic Miner, if you fall too far, you will, and I don't know why I'm jumping over those, because when they're laid open, you can just walk through them. There we go. Like that. Oh, I tell you. Ouch, that hurt. You're damn right it hurt, Nixy. No, oh, just a little bit too eager on the button there. I don't know where I'm going either on this. Oh, that takes me back up to the beginning. Oh, the mushrooms, the big mushrooms gives us... Oh, look, we've got a fossil there. That's nice. So, the big mushrooms give us lives. No? Oh, silly. Very silly. If you excuse me for going quiet, because I'm just concentrating. Oh, there we go. Right. So, what I'm going to do is, this is now, I'm going to bang in the poke. I'm going to poke Nixy. Oh, you brute, you. And that should be it. So let me just do a tester. So that should stay at 3 lives. And it does. There we go. Right, let's crack on. Let's see if we can find this moon pool for this gem that we've picked up. If I remember rightly from reading the inlay card, you've to collect the jewel, take it to the moon pool, and then when you've done that, then there's other collectibles then that you have to go and search for. I think like flowers and things. So once you've done that, it isn't just a case of that's it, the game's over with. Or else it'd be quite a short game. Good, but short. It's amazing how much more confident you are on the keys and controlling the character when you know you've got infinite lives. I wonder if you can climb on those vines. I'm assuming so. Why else would we be there? Oh, no, you can't. Right, okay, the moon pool's not down there. That's the mushroom person. Oh, it just caught me. No. Right, there's a pattern. We've got to recognise the pattern. Right, there's no moon pool there. Can you go that way? Oh! There's the moon pool! I found the moon pool. Excellent! Right, what's it say now? Now find 10 moon blooms. Okay. I have a feeling. Yep, those are the moon blooms. No, it doesn't drop them, or you don't deposit them once you walk through the moon pool. I'm assuming once you've collected the 10, you take them to the back to the moon pool. No. Oh, silly! I was getting a bit too confident there. Like that again. This is where the infinite lives comes in. Yeah, I've been on there, haven't I? Right, let's go down here now. Right, how many is that? That's 3. Oh! That was a bit harsh. I'm starting to rush a little bit now. Overconfidence is setting in. Thing is, though, I need to remember the map. So when I do have the 10 moon blooms, I know how to get back. Sneaky. How do we get up there? There must be a way. Just caught then. Oh, there's another one. That's 5. Oh! Drip. Right, I'm just going to pause it a minute there because I can see the chat out the corner of my eye going a bit mental, so I just want to catch up with this. What, Martin? Isn't it like a thermos flask? How doesn't know it? Does it know how to keep cold drinks cold? Well, I could. No, I'm not. You know, I know how thermos flasks work, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to go full Sheldon there. How does it know the difference? It just does. Pixies. Let's just say it's Pixies, Martin. That's how it does it. It's on the brandy. Odd tipple Dave served by Jeeves. Isn't that Jeeves by a J? With a J? I think that means that you are already drunk, sir. Always like the colours on games like this. Yes, these colours are really nice. I do like them, the blues and purples with the green. Very, very nice colours. Dave has a bottle of brandy. Served by geese. Maybe it is. Maybe he's just got very well-trained geese. I had... Oh... many years ago, sadly both my aunt and uncle have passed, but when I was a young'un growing up, they used to be, well, my uncle Frank, sorry. My uncle Eric isn't with us either anymore, bless him. No, my uncle Frank, he was the lock keeper over at, I always get it wrong, is it Bradley? You know the roundabout, if you're going towards Huddersfield and you go through Murfield, you get to the roundabout just past the Three Nuns. Well, if you, instead of going straight on that road, takes you past Cooper Bridge Auto Spares, if you turn left as though you're going to go towards Huddersfield, just before you get over the bridge, on the right-hand side, there's a big house, and that's the lock house. And he used to be the lock keeper there. And when we go visit him, because bonfire nights, because there was a rather huge piece of land with the house there, he'd do bonfires, and you know, so we'd go there and enjoy ourselves with the potatoes in the tin foil and the fireworks and the sparklers and mittens and all things like that. And yes, we would sellotape fireworks together into a big bundle like that and then just throw them on the bonfire and wait for them to explode. Much hilarity ensued. Anyway, that aside, so yes, my Uncle Frankie was the lock keeper. Anyway, back to geese. He kept geese, and he kept geese as guard geese because apparently they were really easy to train and they were really, really good at that job. So if any strangers came through the gate or on the land, they would just basically swarm at whoever it was, and it was fascinating to watch them. Really, really intelligent animals, and rather tasty too. But yeah, so geese. Wild geese, you could say. But these geese didn't go fighting in Africa. Jeeves the butler. Typing may go out the window. There was a flashy diamond there. Plenty of windows to go out of in the mansion. Like the music to this. Yes, it is quite nice music. I think you got moon pools in submarines. You do get moon pools in submarines. In any like submersible vehicles. You also get them on ships as well. Usually you get a good moon pool on a ship that appears in a James Bond film. James Bond villains like a good moon pool. It's funny, my instinct would be to jump over the bitey plants, but you can just run through them. Yes, when they're open, they're like that, you can just walk through them. He's a poke man. This talk of poking reminds me of early Facebook. Can you also throw sheep? It would be pretty cool if you could throw sheep. But yeah, I remember you could poke people on Facebook, couldn't you? They got rid of that. Dave pokes sheep thrown by Facebook. Do you remember me sharing a photo of a bounty trio the other day? I don't recall that. I will take you at your word. This tune will whiz around his head for hours. Yes, he does. It's gone now, mate. Bound to the taste of paradise. Had to give that important coconut update, Dave. What was your last chocolate bar, everyone? Really? You're on to food already? Boost. Ah! Was it a biscuit boost or a coconut boost? Slightly ripply with a flat underside. I believe you'll find that Reeves and Mortimer told us. Bar was a much diminished Rolo packet. I eat dark chocolate, 9% cocoa, going good for you apparently. I love the way you can instantly feel them attacking your teeth with extra sugar. Nice choice, Lucas. I've been quite good of late, not sure I've had a bar in a while. It used to be a Kit Kat. I used to like a nice Kit Kat now and again. And we have some Kit Kats downstairs. Did you eat the last one, Andy, or did you give it to your true love? Both. Oh, Andy, you mushy person, you. Andy, I bought a Viennetta this week, quite fitting for the retro vibe. Walls Viennetta. Love those, love those. It always amazed me, you know, like when you think of stuff like this and you think of songs, I always thought that Walls missed a trick with advertising the Viennetta, and I'll tell you why. Back around about the same time, well actually the song came out before the Walls Viennetta, but mid-year of Ultravox they did a song called Vienna, and just think, if Walls had paid a bit of money, they could have had that tune to advertise the Viennetta ice cream. So you could, you know, this means everything to me. Ah, Walls Viennetta. You know what I mean? It just, these things come to me. I'm touched, really am. Dave likes a bit of dark. Quite frankly, you might as well just lob them a packet that's pretty much the dark chocolate bounty for the win. Did Exile ever get a Spectrum port? Exile. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. Love a Vietnam. Obviously, we all know these. Road. Shush, Dave. Don't spoil it. I remember there well. pass it a lot, Ed. Doesn't spoil it, I don't know where it is. Right, that's it, I've caught up. Back to Nixy. She's been patient, bless her. So we've got 5 of these flowers. We need another 5 now. Oh. That's proving quite irksome, those drops. The collision detection on these drops is very liberal, I will say. Very liberal. I'm gonna have a drink. I'm parched. That's better. That'll be the bacon kicking in. I had some nice crispy bacon with jacket potatoes for my tea. Delicious. All that just to fall at the last hurdle. Right, let's go this way. I think there may have been one. Oh, come on! These drips. I'm jumping too early and I'm getting a bit too blasé about how I'm going about this. Timing is key. There better be a flower on this next screen after all this. Oh. Right, I think I've sussed the timing on this now. There we go. Actually, no, I don't want to go back that way, do I? No. There's a mushroom there, but I don't need the mushroom because the mushrooms give you an extra life, so I don't need that now I've got the infinite life poke in. Come on! Oh. Yep, there's a flower there. Got you. Mushroom. We don't need a mushroom either, do we? I guess again. So we can discount them. Oh, I forgot about the liquor thing. I don't know why I'm jumping over that, but I know I can walk through them. Left it too late. Went too early. I was nowhere near it. See what I did there? Jumped and climbed up the vine. That's how you do it. They've got another flower. Right. Three to go. Oh no, this way. Right, I've just come up from there, I've been on there, on there. I'm losing track now where I need to go. I've just been down there. That's it, this is where I am now. Yeah, 'cause there's one there, isn't there? Oh, what the hell. I'm gonna get that mushroom. Might as well while I'm here. No? Two more flowers, and then we'll have done that. Right, where did I come from? I went there. Right, should have had a map. Let's head up here. Oh! Right, straight into the, Right, let's see what's... No, because I've already got that one, haven't I? Oh, this looks a bit tasty. That was squeaky bum with that. Oh, you're having a laugh here. Oh, come on. No. Right. So if I jump on there, I need to jump, jump, jump. Quick succession, I think. No, that's one way of doing it, I suppose. Oh, really? just ever so, just... There's a plant there. Oh, sneaky. I was thinking that because I can go underneath that, I thought it might let me, but it won't. Game designers are too clever for that. There we go. How the hell am I going to get down there now? I can get killed and then it'll just put me back at the beginning. I know, that's cheating. Right, how the hell am I going to get back up here now? But I've got my 10 blooms. Take the right, okay, so I need to take the blooms to the pool. I didn't think it'd make me take the blooms to the pool, but... Oh, you... No. Oh, come on. I want to get these blooms back to the pool and see what happens. See if like that's the end of the game. Which it may be. I don't know. No. Timing. Timing is everything. Especially when you've got pixel perfect games. Right, anyone remember the way to the moon pool? Now, is it this way or is it that way? No. No. I hope you didn't hear that in the background. No worries if you did. I love home life. Every day is an adventure. Are we down here? I don't think it is. Oh. I don't think it is, but I'm gonna go anyway. Return the Gaia stuff. Testing my patience. No, I have to go back underground. I'm going deeper underground. I have to go back the way that I came, that's right. Oh, come on. Okay, the end is in sight. I can see it coming. Ugh. Totally unrelated subject, but I was watching a documentary earlier on today about the Avro Vulcan and its first early test flights during the 1950s, and the head test pilot barrel rolled it at a couple of early air shows that it made its appearance at. Ballsy manoeuvre for it, but from what I know of the Vulcan, when they were screening pilots to pilot the Vulcan in the early days, they didn't go for what the traditional bomber pilots. They actually recruited fighter pilots because the Vulcan, even for its immense size and weight, actually handled and performed like a fighter jet and not a conventional bomber. Which is interesting. I thought, anyway. Really? I didn't see that one there. Oh, come on. And then before that one, I was watching one about the first Messerschmitt 109 to be shot down by a Spitfire. It was in France, and not France, sorry, France. It was in France, and there was a pilot was in his Spitfire. It was very much wounded, and it found an airstrip to land on, and so it made an emergency landing. Anyway, the radio was still working, so he radioed for help, and so 2 other Spitfires and a training plane were sent out to rescue him. And as they approached the airfield where he was hiding, so to speak, they happened upon a squadron of Messerschmitts, and there was a brief dogfight ensued. And I want to be going. Is it this way I want to be going? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's on that tree. I need to put it. Anyway, long story short. I returned the guy's stone. Oh, I've completed it! Nixy has saved the Glade from certain doom, but where did the corruption come from? I don't know. Coming soon. Oh! Nixy 2! The Seeds of Doom. Fantastic. What a game! I thoroughly enjoyed that. It's not my favourite game, but I'm going to put that in my... That's in my top 20s, that. I really enjoyed that. And I hope you did too. We're going to close that down. And there we go. We are going to close down that. And that. Did I? Yep. That's closed down. That's closed down. We're going to close the Spectrum now. Oh, I didn't... sorry. I didn't reset my machine. I'll be playing in the background there. There we go. Let's get back to a 48K. Excellent. Right. Let's put the Spectrum to bed. Let's swap back to our primary cam. And there we go. So that was on the Spectrum with Ed. I've got through that a little bit with 20 minutes to spare. I want to put my hat on so you don't get any glare from the old Chrome Dome there. So I'm going to go through the chat because it has been a while since I've been through it. And we'll see where we are with that. So if you've got any questions that you would like to ask me that are centred around the Spectrum, as it were, now's your chance to put them questions to me and to ask. And I will try and answer them best I can. Batman. He's not saying much. Do you know why? Because he's Batman. Right, Vic Reeves did a good cover of Vienna. Was that Vienna or Viennetta? Did he cover his Viennetta? How's it going? You're supposed to be watching a film. I'm assuming by dropping in that means you are bored with said film. Hello again. This game is excellent, well worth the money. This is true, Rudy. £5 is worth that's worth £5 of anybody's money. I don't have it on physical copy. I am going to get it on physical copy, however, because that's how much I like it. We've just passed last chocolate consumed. Usually bollocks in the chat, Gareth, but Ed is carrying on like a trooper. Usually bollocks. Don't you mean usual bollocks in the chat? Oh, actually, no, yeah, usually is bollocks in the chat. Hey, Stealth, Rudy, Dave, Rudy. Usual, haha, just finished Bird Box with kids. Bird Box? Bird Box? Which one's Bird Box? I don't know. Stealth indeed, I've been here ages. So Judy has been lurking. That's a nasty one to get past. Rudy's here. I'm off then, Dave. Oh, Dave, you kidder, you. Mayhaps a collision detection Pokemon is needed. Any Pokemon with a move protect should do. Imagine the practice would take with finite lives. Yeah, so, I mean, you probably did notice throughout the game that there were mushrooms dotted about on various levels, so they were there to give you the extra lives that you would almost certainly need. It's not Pokemon talk, it's pokes. We're talking pokes. Poke is a little piece of basic code that you would put in a game back in the 80s that would allow you to have infinite lives and such. He's been using pokes, do pay attention, 007. Ed is poking the game. You see, well, you're just getting rude now. I've been too busy eating discontinued chocolate bars to comment. Roundtree's Secret, Cadbury's Spira. Okay. In date, perhaps? 3 remaining. Right, Rudy, you've been cheating. Yeah, but you missed this bit. For the games of their time, using pokes, yes, was cheating. But looking at it through a modern gaze, shall we say, it isn't cheating, because most games now that you play, you have infinite lives anyway, so you get killed, you respawn. There's no stakes anymore to games, not like there were on the older games back in the day. So I don't know, say playing something like if you're playing Fortnite, once you're killed, that's it. You don't have 3 lives and you're killed. You just keep respawning. Yes, you lose your equipment, but you can soon get that back and pick that up. So there's no stakes in the game like that. Much like with GTA and GTA Online, you just respawn. And I'm sure the Zelda games that you like playing, is it Wind Waker or Wind Talker or Gone with the Wind or whatever it is, there's probably, just respawns and save points on that, whereas with these older games, there was none of that. So using a poke would allow you to get further into the game, should you so wish. I'm pretty sure there will be a website out there that will have a map for it. Bay, boy, cheating. Yep. We like to think of it as a demo mode. Thought you were breaking into a rendition of Cotton Eye Joe then. Oh dear. I just had flashbacks to the frontier there. Maximum effort, so I think you can climb the little tendrils too, if that helps. No, you can't. You can only climb the thick-stemmed plants that, like the vines that have the bite things at the top. It needs to lock in as the youth. I'm assuming you mean concentrate there. Now you have to take them back to the pool stage. I would be lost literally. So say we all. It's interesting. I got caught in a trap over the past few weeks. I follow or I subscribe to Katie Sackhoff on YouTube, and she started. I mean, she's a good few weeks into it now, but she started doing what she's affectionately called as Battlestar Reactica. I mean, can you believe it's 23 years since the original miniseries? God, I just can't believe that. That's gone. Anyway, we all know she plays Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. She has never watched it. She was in it. She played the character, but she's never watched it. So she is doing if you sign up and subscribe to her Patreon, you can sit and watch her react to the full episode. I don't do that shit. So I just watch the clips segment that she puts out on YouTube, which go out on YouTube every Thursday evening. I usually watch them on a Friday morning while having breakfast. And she just basically reacts to the episodes. And it's really good, actually. She's quite funny. And there's also lots of interesting details that she gives out on the episodes about, behind the scenes and things like that. And she has guests on. So far she's had Trisha Helfer, who played Caprica 6 and various other 6s and Head 6. She's had Tamo Pennicott, I think that's how you pronounce it, who was his name's just gone. Big guy. Married Sharon, had the daughter, Hera. Oh, what do they call him now? His character. Anyway, he plays him, big chap. And then the actor that played Galen, the deck chief. So those are the 3 guests that she's had on so far. I believe that she's going to be having Grace Park, who plays the 8, and Sharon and Athena, and I think she's mentioned as well that she's speaking with Eddie, not me, another Eddie, James Olamos, about coming on. So yeah, it's, if you like Battlestar Galactica and you like to know what went on behind the scenes, I'd recommend it. It's a good watch. So say we all. What was the first game to come with a map? Excellent question. I think I want to say Fred. It was a Quicksilver game. And it was ported over to the Amstrad CPC 464 when that came out in 84. And it was called Roland on the Ropes. I think that came with a map. Not sure. If we were looking, I told him to just run left. I'm going live on the Facebook at 10. I hope Ed finds the pool before then. Oh, you're doing live? What are you doing on Facebook live at 10 o'clock in another 15 minutes, Lucas? Do let us know. Drop it in the chat and put a link in there as well. Top surface, keep going left. Fly me to the moon. Left seems to be the only option. Is this the way to Armadillo? Up the beanstalk. Let me play amongst the stars. You have to be at ground level to see the moon, you banana. Yes, I know, I was getting to the moon pool. You can't just go left and get there. You have to go subterranean. You have to go down to come back up. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter. No, Martin, stop singing. There's an up option. Martin thinks it's karaoke. No, it's not. Yeah, there would be. What I would be doing, I'd be completely lost. Open karaoke night, Dave. Jamiroquai. Cosmic Girl. Wait, what was that? The moon pool. Why has he still got the flowers? What's going on here? There we go. That's a neat little game. Yeah, love it. It's a great game. Thank you, Dave. I'll have to duck out before 10 as going live. Bird Box is the Sandra Bullock film that was made. Oh, right. Yes, I know which one it is now. Yeah, I know which one it is. It's the one where... Is it the one where they have to be blindfolded? I think. Is it the blindfolded one, I think? You're watching Elvis. Interesting. I could sit here for hours and tell you how it differs from reality, but I won't. Oh, thank you very much. That's a hell of a film to start watching at this time on a night. But if you don't have to be up for school tomorrow, then that's fair enough. Yes, she's doing a rewatch, isn't she? Bless her. The engineer, the bloke who stayed behind after she took the Hujima flight back to Galactica. Oh, what did they call the AWACS ship? Not the Vipers, the Raptors. They were Raptors, Andrew. I'm giving away some stupid stickers that are too rude to send out with my orders. Right. Excellent. And yep, the blindfold one. And that's it. I've caught up with the chat. Fantastic. Excellent. Right, okay. So what time are we on? Right, yeah, it's 10 to 10. So 10 minutes. Not watching Elvis, you said you got caught in a... right, yes, I get it. Yes. Can't go on. So there we go. yeah, so we've got 10 minutes. I could finish now and then 10 minutes early, or I could hang on another 10 minutes and see if you want to bunk any questions in the chat that you would like to ask me. Spectrum related, of course. There's no point asking me stuff that's not related to the Spectrum because it would be pointless. If not, that's fine. I'll just have to look around the room and see if I can pick something to waffle on about for 10 minutes. So I'll give you 30 seconds to bang a question in the chat if you want to ask me anything. Just imagine that the countdown music is playing, dun, 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 you know, that one. And if not, then I think I might call it a night. Log off early and get myself a cuppa, a sliced toast, and oh yes, the Battlestar Galactica thing. Yes, I was getting around to that. So yeah, it was interesting that you mentioned that reactor, blah blah. The story was because I've been watching. I mean, it was only last year that I watched Battlestar Galactica from the miniseries all the way through right to the end, and you know, Razor and the Plan and Blood and Chrome. You know, watched the whole gamut of it. But because I've been watching the Battlestar Galactica thing with Katie Sackhoff, I got drawn in, basically. And it was one lunchtime, and I was a bit stalled about what to put on. So I thought, right, I'll just put an episode of Battlestar. I'll put the next episode on, so then when she is watching that in the clip show, it's fresh in my memory, so I did that. Anyway, yeah, rabbit hole on that one. I've now done all of the arse end of season 1, season 2, and I've just finished season 3. So yeah, I fell into that trap of just getting sucked into it and watching it. But in my defence, it is such a bloody good show. I mean, I still maintain that it is still probably one of the best TV shows in the last 30 years, without a doubt. But what I do find quite interesting is that I must have seen it probably in the 23 years that it's been out. I've probably seen it well over a dozen or so times, maybe even 24 times. And it's interesting. This time watching it is the first time that I've paid particular attention to some of the continuity errors or things that don't make any sense, which I was aware that they were there before, but I kind of, you know, give them a pass because I was, you know, engrossed in the story. Where this time round, you know, because I know the story so well now, I was kind of like, yeah, that don't make a sense. Oh yeah, they've done a bit of a thing there. So that was quite interesting to be able to pick all these, you know, these things up that just kind of don't make sense, or kind of do make sense within the narrative of the show itself, but as an external watcher. I mean, one of them is there's an episode in season 3 where Colonel Ty, all of a sudden, he just drops it on you like, oh, I'm hearing music. And it's like, well, where's that come from? You know, there's no preamble, you know, there's nothing to build up to that. And I was reading that the reason why they did that is because they wanted to get that up and running. They just didn't, because in the 3rd season, they were kind of writing on the fly. There was like writer strikes and things going off in the background. So that even really towards probably the last maybe 5 episodes of season 3, they still hadn't decided yet who the final 5 were. And in fact, the final 5 were only really fully decided upon in probably the last 3 episodes. Question the choices of who they decided to use as the final 5. I didn't agree with all the choices. I think it should have been other characters or new characters. But yeah, so that was the Battlestar Galactica thing. Yeah, so I ended up getting drawn back into it and watching it and just thoroughly enjoying it. And it's interesting as well because every time I watch it, I find the character of Gaius Baltar more and more sympathetic. He seems to be the most human character throughout the whole series. You know, he's the one that has so much humanity in the fact that he's frail, he's cowardly, he's self-serving. You know, all those traits that make humans human. He sort of like exhibits them all. Whereas all the other characters, yes, they show brief glimpses of humanity, but they don't. You know, they're quite stereotypical, and in some respects one-dimensional. But they just still work. It's still a brilliant series. Anyway. That killed 5 minutes, didn't it? So we'll kill another 5 minutes with the chat. Initiate brew. Oh, Lucas is gone. Yeah, cheers, Lucas. Thanks for dropping in, and I hope your Facebook stream goes well. How many keys are there on the Spectrum, and how many notes? Well, keys, you have a standard QWERTY keyboard with numbers. So that tells you how many keys is on it. So if you know how many keys is on a standard typewriter keyboard with numbers, that will tell you how many keys are on a Spectrum. Notes, right then, notes. I can't tell you that off the top of my head, but there is quite a lot. The Spectrum has it has a beeper, doesn't have a sound chip, so you can make the Spectrum make noises and tones and notes by entering numeric values. So whatever tune you would like to create on the Spectrum, you can. I will refer you back to Manic Miner. You have 2 songs on there. You have In the Hall of the Mountain King and the Blue Danube. So, you know, you can make music on those. I didn't put that question up, but I've put it up now. What did you think about Micromen, Ed? I thought it was a good watch. Fantastic. I love Micromen. And again, that's something that I could watch 3 or 4 times a year. In fact, there's been times where I've been bored and I've just put it on and just sat and watched it. I think it's great. It's not 100% historically accurate, but it gets the main details in of what particularly happened within that period. The Chris Curry thing is very much condensed, and the antagonism between Chris Curry and Sir Clive Sinclair, that's made up. They never fell out. They did have a little altercation in the Baron of Beef pub. That did happen, but it wasn't a fist fight that it shows in Micromen itself. It was just more of a well-meaning bantered kind of like, you know, set to between them. But no, they didn't hate each other. In fact, in the early days, if I recollect rightly, Chris Curry and company borrowed components from Sir Clive Sinclair when they were setting certain things up. So no, that was incorrect. The selling of the Rolls Royce, that was true. The giving up of smoking, that was true. Sir Clive Sinclair did, I think once he turned 40, or it was either 40 or he did become quite a bit of a health freak and you know, did jogging and running and things like that. But generally on the whole, yes, it was pretty much, yeah, the key events pretty much happened as they did in that show. Dave wants to know how many Spectrums is too many. You can never have too many Spectrums. They're like orphan children, Dave. You see them out in the wild and you just think, oh, bless, and you've just got to pick them up. Currently, I'm on a lot. I wouldn't be able to count now. I've got 1, 2, I've got 3, I've got 5, 6 behind me, 7. I've got 7, 8. I've got 8 here that are loose. And then over there, I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I've probably got about another maybe 10 boxed ones over there. So yeah, that's what we've got. How many sheets of A4 white copy paper do we think Ed has left? Oh, in these ones back here. That's probably about a quarter of a pack. There's probably about 10 sheets in there. So that's your questions. Problem for me is that Starbuck becomes a MacGuffin. The whole. But apparently, I saw an interview with Ronald D. Moore, and apparently that was always the plan for Starbuck. You know, leaning into that mythical kind of angels and things kind of thing. But yeah, apparently that was always the plan for Starbuck. I love the reimagining up to a point. I find the last couple of seasons to be very hard work. I don't like the ending at all and find it unrewarding. Well, we can't like everything. You know, it's good to have, you know, liking different things. Has anyone any questions I can ignore? I think Gareth was going for a musical gag there. Perhaps he was. Oh, that's 10 o'clock. Keys, notes, clefs, and the like. Oh, it's... Ian, it's a little bit late now. You know what I mean? And thank you, yes, thank you for asking them to do that. That is very much appreciated. I mean, what did you... Ian, I love you. You're a fantastic chap, but you know, it's just a little bit late. Do you know what I mean? A little bit late. And no, I'm still not joining your Patreon. Hey, Arrow. So Spectrum owners are like Batman then? Orphans. Yeah, well, they are now because, you know, the Clive Sinclair has sadly passed, and the great Rick Dickinson also passed as well. The gentleman who... I mean, the thing, what I mean, it is really a bit of a myth, because while Sir Clive Sinclair was responsible for Sinclair Research and many other companies before Sinclair Research, I mean, there was Sinclair Radionics and etc. things like that, and Science of Cambridge, that was another company that he had. Well, it was Science of Cambridge that actually became Sinclair Research, but anyway, he had this image of being like cuddly, you know, like Uncle Clive. And that was really played upon by the British government and the British media, you know, because he really did bring home computers to the masses. You know, he did it with the ZX80. You know, his ethos at that point was to bring a micro home computer to the general public for under £100, and he did it. I mean, technically speaking, the ZX81 was pretty much a glorified calculator, but it was still, you could still program on it, which technically made it a computer. So yeah, it did, and then, but it was the team that he surrounded himself with that was key to developing and bringing the Sinclair Spectrum. You know, Clive Sinclair was quite visionary. He had this thing about miniaturization, and he had an eye for detail and branding. But the actual look of the Spectrum, the way that it looked, that was Rick Dickinson. He was the guy that designed it, and he also designed the Spectrum Plus, the 128K Plus, and before he passed, he designed the Spectrum Next. That was his last Spectrum that he designed, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it won't be too long till I get my hands on my Next, because I'm really looking forward to getting that one fired up. So yes, so not all, but a lot of the key players that were about at that time that brought the ZX Spectrum to the world, to the UK public, are no longer with us. So yeah, I suppose in that respect it does make it an orphan. And then, do Spectrum breeds? Yes, they do. If you do not keep your eye on them, they can breed, and you can end up being mowed under by them. Yes, you can. Right, okay, it is now almost 10:05, so I'm going to say, look at the camera. I always forget to look at the camera. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's not been too boring or too, you know, for you. But, you know, I mean, I know playing retro games, especially from 40 odd years ago, isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I love it. And, you know, it's nice to share the things that we love with other people, especially if they do have a little love for them themselves too. So, that being said, again, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. I will be back, all being well, on Thursday, next Thursday, with, if I get it done in time, my review of Fans Toys FMO5 Rambo, which is Fans Toys' version of Sideswipe. If I pull my finger out, if I'm not too busy. If I'm not, then I might have to just on the fly and do something else. Failing that, it will be a week on Sunday, so not next Sunday, because next Sunday is Dave, Rudy and Lee with Toy Me Toy You. So it'll be the Sunday after, so that'll be, is that the 30th, Sunday the 30th of August, where it will be Vaults of Iacon Presents on the Spectrum with Ed, Cassette 2, and I haven't decided what games I'm going to play yet. I have an idea, but that will be finalised at a later date. And that's it. Yeah, nothing else to say. So, once again, thank you very much. Take care, and see you down the road somewhere.